Hey, what's up YouTube? This your boy PJ2 Hot here. I'm back from another video, and today I'm here to do a video about getting into PC gaming. Now, first off, this is not a video about me trying to be a PC elitist, PC fanboy, whatever you want to call it. I'm not trying to be one. I'm just trying to inform people who are looking to get into PC gaming what to expect. You know, there are some negatives and there's a lot of positives, and I'll go back and say there's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of things I'm trying to cover in a short amount of time. All right, so let's get started. First off, when you look into PC gaming, you also need to make sure about your specs. You need to make sure you got a good, CPU, you got a good GPU, good RAM. Personally to me, I recommend at least getting about 8 gigs of RAM. Most of the time, you only need 4 gigs of RAM, but I recommend at least getting 8, at least 8 gigs of RAM. A good enough processor too. Trust me, don't get no cheap processor. I mean, they can work, but it's just that if you're trying to get the highest frame rates, and that's just to me, I could be wrong on this, but I think if you're trying to get the highest frame rates, that would be to get a good CPU. And I think a GPU has something to do with, no, the GPU has something to do with the graphics, my fault, about, how it looks, what type of resolution you want to play is. Like me, I always play in 1080p. I can't play anything lower than 1080p. I just can't do it. It looks too blurry to me. You know what I mean? But I recommend doing the CPU. I have a pretty good feeling that a PC, a real super PC elitist for the come in and say, you have no idea what you're talking about. Don't make a video if you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, all right? I'm talking about what I know. And if I'm wrong, I don't care if you want to come in and correct me, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, I'm just telling you what you need to look at, what some people need to look at when you're buying a gaming PC, or if you're going to build one. That's really and truly, that technically is the best option to build one, because it's a lot cheaper. If you buy a gaming PC, you're paying more than what you really should be paying, but that's because the company is going to have to charge you because they're putting it together for you. So that's the thing is, but yeah, I bought my PC online. I buy Power Computers. They do a very good job at making gaming PCs. They do a very good job at that. They're a lot cheaper than Alienware, which is by Dell. Like Alienware, they're high, but yeah, I use the iBuyPower. I have an AMD FX 6300 processor. It's a 6-core processor, and I have an AMD R7 250 2GB GPU, which is a entry-level card. It's not the best graphic, blah blah blah, stuttering like crazy. But yeah, it's not the best graphics card in the world. It's but it does handle pretty much it has handled every game that I have thrown at it so far. It has handled it. The frame rates are pretty steady, about around 30 frames. Might occasionally drop to about 25 frames. Sometimes it goes to 20, but it'll jump back up to 30. It's just simple. But yeah, and it also depends what settings you have the game on. The higher you have the settings, the more work that the CPU and the GPU is gonna have to put in. And if the CPU or GPU is not good enough, you get the lagging, and that's when you start lagging and skipping, and it's just not playable. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure that your computer can handle the higher settings, the resolution. You know what I mean? If the resolution is too high for the PC to handle, you need to turn it down, and it'll give you more frames. You know what I mean? That's the best way, to do it. I have turned it down. Sometimes take it off of full screen mode, you know what I mean, and put it in window mode, and it might run better too doing it that way. You know what I mean? I'm basing this off the knowledge that I know so far, but there are a lot of things probably about PC gaming that I still have yet to learn. So I'm pretty sure PC elitists would jump up in this video and correct me right off the bat and call me stupid, whatever, and think they are the greatest person in the world when they're just a person sitting behind a computer thinking they're the tough guy. But yeah, pretty much that. But another thing is about PC gaming that a good positive though really is the deals. The amazing deals that Steam has to offer are absolutely incredible. I mean, I've gotten so many games off Steam. It's almost ridiculous how many games that I have, man. And all of them, I got them for so cheap because they go on sales every week. There are always sales left and right, going all over the place, and you just can't help but buy some because they're just too good to pass up. So yes, those are another thing that you gotta look at. Another thing that you should also look at, the mods. I know the Xbox One is getting mods now, especially I think for Fallout 4. I think they're getting mods for that, and that's the cool thing. Mods are what make PC gaming a step further when it comes to console gaming. Now, I'm more of a console gamer than a PC gamer, but I would even admit that modding is one thing that puts PC gaming one step ahead of consoles. You know what I mean? If all consoles had the ability to mod, a lot of these PC gamers or PC elitists would be shut up right now, wouldn't be saying nothing. And since the Xbox One can handle mods pretty much, and so can the PS4, I know they both can. The PC gamers probably, well, the PC elitists probably usually be a little bit quiet knowing that they can handle it. So yeah, some of them are, not all of them, but yeah, that's another thing to look at. You know what I mean? These are like the things that you need to look at when you're gaming on PC. You know what I mean? You need to look at all these. I know there are a lot more I need to cover, but you know, I only have a short amount of time to make this video because I got to go somewhere pretty soon. So yes, I got to go ahead and get this video out. But yeah, this is just me giving you guys some info about PC gaming. Like if you're looking to get into it, this your boy PJ Too Hot. Peace.